The night of the battle at Aburano Koji was a turning point for the Shinsengumi. For the men who didn't know the details, it was simply a battle against their former comrades, the guardians of the Imperial tomb. Those better informed knew the situation with the Satsuma and Choshu domains had changed, and Ryoma Sakamoto's hit was part of a big plan. Only the heads of the Shinsengumi knew the whole story. The activities of the demons, and Okita and Heisuke's transformation into furies. Such an important battle had stirred up the atmosphere in the compound, and for several days there were excited men everywhere, shouting and talking. Moments of silence were quite rare. Quite. I felt I would only be in the way if I was wandering around the grounds, so I did my best to stay in my room by myself. I was wondering what happened to you.
Ah, thank goodness you're here.
Sanan walked into my room without saying anything, aside from that.
If you'd gone out, I wouldn't have been able to look for you.
Sanan? But it's daytime. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes. I've just had a revelation. I just had to tell you immediately.
His eyes glittered with something, and even though he was smiling, I could feel the fingers of dread begin to poke at the base of my spine. Oh, come on now. What? Why me? Wouldn't you want to tell Kondo or Hijikata instead?
Well, it has to be you. You will listen to my idea, yes?
Although he asked in the form of a question, his choice of words made it seem far from letting me make a choice. Sanan started to talk without waiting for my answer.
Yukimura, that Princess Sen had claimed that you are part of the demon clan, right? And as a demon, you are stronger, faster, and more resilient than a human. Demonic superiority was displayed quite clearly by those demons who just attacked us.
Well, I understand that, but what was Sanan trying to get at? My heart started to pound, anticipating bad news.
A demon possesses immense power. It follows that the blood which flows through demon veins should be similarly powerful. Perhaps it is even potent enough to completely counteract the madness of the Furies.
This is what I've been saying since the beginning, y'all! I didn't know how the water of life worked, but Sanan's explanation seemed logical, even if it was a bit manic. How can you know that for sure?
Since before I became a Fury, I've been researching how the water of life works. I know more about it than anyone else here. I still have yet to discover the exact composition of the water of life. But I am hypothesizing that a core ingredient is fresh blood, and I'm assuming not from a human. Perhaps there may be demons or demon-like entities roaming throughout foreign countries.
So... Sanan drew closer to me without making a sound.
In any event, I believe it's worth testing. Your very existence could save the Fury Core. No, the entire Shinsengumi.
Wait. Sanan's eyes had grown painfully sharp, and I almost thought I could hear the barest edge of madness in his voice.
Now,
let me draw some blood. Calmly, he drew his sword from its scabbard. There was no madness or bloodlust to his movements, and that only made them all the more terrifying.
Oh, there's nothing to be afraid of. I'm not going to kill you or anything. I just want a small sample of your blood. That's all.
Would it be okay if we had somebody who doesn't go crazy at the sight of blood be a witness to this so that they can collect it, and then I know you for sure you're not gonna kill me? I took a step back. 2. Sanan and his sword came closer. He lifted it, and the steel blade shimmered in the light. Then all of a sudden, just then... Hey, Sanan, what the hell are you doing? Thank goodness for you. Hijikata had burst into the room. Then... What is this, Sanan? Of all people, I'd expect you to know better than to draw your sword on someone in the compounds. Have you lost your mind?
Hijikata! Oh, Hijikata. Excellent timing. Please give me a hand here. You also need to convince her to cooperate with us.
With calm purpose, he stepped between Sanan and me. Sanan saying that?
Put your sword away.
Personal conflicts are forbidden. The rules of conduct apply to everyone, even the captains. Sanan glared at Hijikata begrudgingly for several moments, but he soon turned away and sheathed his sword. So what happened? Did Yukimura do something?
I am searching for a way to treat the madness of the Furies, for the good of the Shinsengumi.
And that means you have to cut her.
I'm not going to kill her. I only need a little of her blood. We've lost so many of the Furies from the battle the other day. Many of our human soldiers have fallen as well. If we are to effectively utilize the Furies we have left, as well as the ones we are about to create, then we must find a way to temper their madness. I know you for an intelligent man, Hijikata. Surely you understand.
The code says we don't fight each other for any reason. You haven't forgotten, have you? So no matter what reasons you give me, I cannot condone bloodshed amongst our members.
However, Yukimura is not technically a member of the Shinsengumi.
Maybe not, but she's been here long enough. She might as well be. They continued to stare for a while, neither willing to budge on the matter at hand.
As usual, you're too soft. I guess I have no choice. I'll leave for now. But keep in mind, if we do not discover a method of suppressing the side effects of the water of life, even Toda will begin to suffer from the bloodlust.
Can't I just volunteer my own blood and, collect it and just hand it to somebody? Is that not a thing? Is that not part of the code? Only after I'd heard his footsteps fade away down the hall did I begin to breathe again. Thanks, man. You okay?
Oh, yes. Thank you for helping me.
Nothing to thank me for. I just ensured Sanan followed the code. In the past, he wouldn't have stood up to me like that. I looked down. It's true. Sanan had been acting strangely lately. Try, years. He would have never drawn his sword as aggressively as he just did before he drank the serum. I'm sorry. Huh? What's gotten over you? There's nothing for you to apologize for. Well, the reason why Sanan was acting the way he did in the first place was because Kazuma destroyed the Fury Core. After I said this, Hijikata paused and reflected to himself before responding. I think you've gotten things mixed up. Huh? They are allied with the Satsuma and the Choshu. In other words, they are our enemy. If an enemy attempts to attack us, it's a given that we're going to put our lives on the line to stop them. He spoke with so much conviction, but it's none of your responsibilities to protect me. So what are you saying, then? We should just offer you on a silver platter to them and beg for them to spare our lives, just because they have powers we don't. This is not the samurai way. For us, once we've decided on something, we will never compromise that decision. We're not bitches. Nice. Is that the official motto of the Shinsengumi? The Shinsengumi. We are not bitches. Hijikata was so confident with what he was saying, and I felt there was no real contention to his claim. Even if he wouldn't say as much, I'm sure he knows that kicking me out of the Shinsengumi would make their lives so much easier. But if they did that, it would be a violation of the values they pride themselves in upholding. I'm sorry if what I said was out of line. Aw, now I'm making Hijikata blush of all people. My goodness, this was not intended. I already told you. You don't have to apologize. Don't make me repeat myself. Hijikata said this timidly, muttering under his breath before looking down in my direction. Next time something like this happens, be sure to tell me. Don't keep it to yourself. You can always tell Yamazaki or Shimada, too. All right. Understood. Hijikata nodded and turned to leave, but I realized I had one thing left to say. What? Is there something else? There were so many warriors who were injured as a result of the attack on the compounds. Saito hadn't been present for long recently, and Kondo was occupied with his meetings with the Bakushin. Similarly, I had a feeling Hijikata was feeling the pressure of all of his duties lately. I wish that I could be helping him in some capacity, but I might get in their way. What is it? I won't know if you stay quiet. I mean, I love all of you, but none of the people listed were Okita, so I'm gonna stay here. Nothing. I'm sorry for stopping you. Huh? Did you lose your train of thought? That smile. Whatever, then. I'm going to head back to my room. Okay. I watched his back disappear through the door, leaving me alone in my room again. As much as I wanted to be helpful for everyone. If I recklessly walk about the compounds and things like earlier happened, it wouldn't be good. Maybe it's just better I don't do anything. There will be time for these things at some point. Also, my mouse has crept forward again. Hide down there, please. As I was thinking that, the day had passed and night had fallen.
Hey, here you are, Chizuru. Can I come in?
Harada? Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry for coming unannounced. Damn, am I glad you're here. I'm getting sick of this grumpy old wet blanket. Funny, I was just thinking the same thing.
Is there something wrong?
Oh, we just thought you could keep us company. There's nobody else to talk to.
What do you mean? There are people everywhere.
Sorry. The truth is, I just want to let off some steam, and I can't talk about this with... well, anyone else. I mean, there aren't many warriors left. The other captains are all busy.
Oh, I see.
I mean, it's all Kondo and Hijikata's fault to begin with. Sure can't talk to them. Oh, here we go again. The Fury Core is a bad idea. A really bad idea. We need to get rid of it before it really screws us.
So Nagakura had something to get off his chest about the Fury Core. Now I understood why they couldn't talk about it with anyone. The people who knew about it were the people they blamed, and it was a secret to everyone else.
I mean, it's not like I wanted Heisuke to die or anything, but... can you really even call that being alive? It just seems cruel to me.
Well, yes, I suppose.
Every man here knows how it works. Sometimes we kill the other guys, sometimes he kills us. When we go out there, we all know we might not come back. But now they won't even let us die. I know how you feel, but I think you're taking it a little far. I really doubt Kondo and Hijikata just leapt into all of this blind. I'm sure they gave it a lot of thought. So what thought is it then? They better not be saying they want to become daimyos and have their own castle or whatever. Well, come on. You knew Kondo's dream was to become a real samurai. What the hell, Sano? Are you telling me you're actually behind this crap? So just because you have this just cause, you could mess with the water of life? Hey, I'm not saying that, am I? Look, I'm just saying that I get where they are coming from. Well, screw you then. I can't do this sober. I'm going to Shimabara.
You turned off my light, man. Nagakura leapt up and stormed out through the door, fuming. He stormed off so briskly that the candle in my room blew out. My room fell dark and I heard Harada sigh a little.
Oh.
What should I do about Nagakura?
Aw, leave him be. I'm sure he's not going to be dumb enough to bring up the waters of life there.
But...
Well, as you can tell, he is a good guy. And because of that, he just can't let go of a lot of stuff.
I think Harada's right. I mean, even seeing Sanan earlier this afternoon. It just feels like the Shinsengumi is slowly changing. Can I ask you one thing?
What is it?
Harada, what do you think about the Furies? His sigh made his bangs flow atop his brow. Oh, I'm getting a moment with Harada? Okay, well this was, unexpected.
I can see where Shinpachi's coming from. We're forcing life into people who were supposed to die and turning them into monsters. I think it's wrong. But without that serum, Heisuke would have definitely died. And I can sort of see where Kondo and Hijikata are coming from. If the Shinsengumi goes under, if the shogunate writes us off, Kondo and Hijikata may no longer be classified as samurai. I'm sure those two have no other way of living besides the Shinsengumi. Shinpachi is from a samurai family, so he may not understand where Kondo is coming from.
So, are you saying what is keeping everyone together is now weakening?
It's hard to say. I mean, it could just mean that what we were working for wasn't the same in the first place. Maybe we all just had the misconception that we were after the same thing. I don't know. I know in my head that it can't be helped. But because we had such good times, it's tough.
Harada was always so kind and mature and dependable. No matter to whom he was speaking, he always had their best interest in mind. And because Harada understood where Kondo and Hijikata were coming from, it might have been even harder for him.
Sorry. Not only did you have to watch me deal with Shinpachi, but now you gotta hear me vent.
Oh, please, I don't mind. It makes me happy if I can help in any way, so please, don't worry about me. I can't really do anything else.
Hey, Chizuru.
What is it?
You gotta get out of the habit of putting yourself down so much. You're not here because you can't do anything. I mean, you were forced and put in confinement here.
He reached his hand tenderly towards my head and patted the top of it. Aw, thanks. Oh. Well, unintentional time with Harada, I guess?
At least I feel a lot better that I could talk to you. Even if you can't do anything, there are times where it's good to cheer someone up just by being there.
Really? His words were so kind. Could I trust them?
I'm not that witty enough to lie without showing it. You know me.
Yes, I know, but...
Anyways, it's not good for me to stay here too long, so I'm going to head out.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much.
I'm the one that should thank you. Good night, Chizuru.
He patted my head a few times. Thanks, bro. And he left my room. My room fell silent again. If Harada was ever faced with a situation where he had to decide to drink the serum or not, I wonder what he would do. Would he drink the water of life just like Heisuke did? Wonder if I missed out on a SOUJI scene at all. I don't know. We'll continue on. We are in full bloom with SOUJI after all. The Shinsengumi, once solid, now wavered. What would happen to them? What would happen to the Fury Corps? Men were forced to watch as their friends became the undead monsters known as Furies. Was it any wonder that they found themselves conflicted, or that tempers began to rise? Several days later, the order was given to begin the Imperial Restoration. The formal movement followed by those who sought to back the Emperor in the government instead of the Shogun. The Emperor would be restored to power, and his court would once again rule the nation. The position of Shogun would be abolished, and Kyoto's military and judiciary commissioner positions would be eliminated. All that the Shinsengumi had fought for and believed in was falling to pieces. Eef. Things could be going better. Our pets' heads are falling off? What does that even mean? Souji, I swear you better not be dying on me again. Our pets' heads are falling off. Can they not? Souji Whiz. Achievement unlocked. Okay. With the shogunate abolished, Yoshinobu Tokugawa left for Osaka. The old shogunate military followed, gathering most of their strength in Osaka. Even so, it was unclear how things would turn out. To predict the fate of the country required more information and insight than we possessed. What we did know, however, was that the Satsuma had grown more and more violent and needed to be stopped. Believing they were acting for the good of the country, the Shinsengumi set about trying to take back the imperial court from the Satsuma and the Choshu, and put Lord Yoshinobu back in power. Alright. Oh. January 16th. The Shinsengumi, along with men from several other domains, were assigned to guard the Fushimi Magistrate's office. The location where the Shinsengumi was stationed during the Battle of Toba-Fushimi. Most of the night patrols were done by the Fury Corps, which included Sanan, Heisuke, and Okita. Hey. Hey, don't worry so much, Chizuru. Huh? I wasn't worrying. You're lying. You want to look at yourself in the mirror? You're pale. Really? I was trying my best to keep it from showing on my face, but I guess Heisuke saw right through me. Good to have you back, by the way. They don't have very many men. We'll be fine.
The shogunate commands overwhelming manpower. The Satsuma and Choshu will recognize that soon enough.
His voice sounded confident, but his face looked pale. All true, but all their men have Western weapons and Western tactics. That could be trouble.
We needn't worry about that either. How dangerous could foreign weapons be? Besides, the shogunate army commands Furies.
He turned and walked away back into the building. Didn't the water of life come from the west in the first place? Seeing Sanan act that way always made me nervous. I had begun to worry that the bloodlust was driving him mad. I'm gonna go check on Sanan. I don't like letting him out of my sight. Yeah. I nodded and Heisuke jogged off after Sanan. I grew worried and I turned to look at Okita. Okita, are you alright? Does it hurt anywhere? Do you feel sick? Or do I want blood? Ah! He had seen through my plot so easily. It didn't seem to matter to him, though, as he continued as if nothing had happened. No, I haven't felt any of that. At least not yet. I see. That was reassuring to hear, although both of us felt the weight of that yet. I can't speak for Sanan, but Heisuke's been alright so far, too. I fell silent, unsure of what he meant. Was he trying to reassure me? Or was he trying to remind me that they were only doing fine thus far? What's wrong? You still blaming yourself? He sighed in disbelief. Yeah, it's true things got a little complicated, but I was the one who decided to drink the water of life. Me. I chose my path. What happened isn't your fault. And I didn't do it for you. Right. His tone brooked no dissent. I could only nod. Nonetheless, the heaviness in my heart refused to lift. It looks like you're getting better, at least. I do have my reservations when it comes to that serum, but even so, I'm glad that you're getting better. Okita? Nothing. Actually, I feel great. Better than ever, in fact. Right, your complexion looks way better. The cough that had grown progressively worse for the last several months was completely gone. I was definitely glad he was better. I'm pretty happy my tuberculosis is gone. But... I've been meaning to ask you, though. Why are you going on night rounds with us? It was because I was worried about Okita. But I could hardly tell him that. I fell silent. We're fighting the Satsuma this time, you know. Yes. Those demons who are after you are out there, and they aren't just screwing around. They're serious business. I know that, but I can't just sit around. I didn't tell you to sit around. I'm just saying a kid like you should be sleeping right now. Why don't you work during the day? With Hijikata and Saito and the rest of them. Nighttime was when I felt the worst for standing by and doing nothing, but I didn't think Okita would understand that. Perhaps I was only in the way when I went out with the Fury Corps. This battle is going to be a long, hard one. Sanan thinks we can wrap it up quickly, but he's wrong. With that, he turned and walked away, leaving me alone. But... I wasn't even sure myself why I was so determined, but I did know that I was worried for Okita. But there was no way I could say that to him. 'Cause you a big chicken, girl. Fretting about it would do me little good. I balled my hands into fists, trying to clear my mind. I just need to do my best. If I could make myself useful, then there was no reason I couldn't keep working on the night patrols. January 18th. 2 days after the Shinsengumi had been assigned to guard the magistrate office, I found myself woken suddenly from a nap. I didn't know why at first, only that the compound was especially tense. Something had happened.
First Division! Second Division! Move out!
Was that Nagakura? What was going on?
Move it! You're headed for the main road!
The rumble of marching echoed across the courtyard as Nagakura and his men departed. What happened? I made my way through the crowd that had gathered until I found myself at the center. There before me... Kondo? Oh, he's bleeding like crazy, I just realized. Ugh. He recognized me and managed a faint smile before sagging back down. Kondo's right shoulder was overflowing with blood, dyeing his sleeves into a bright red. What happened? His wound, oh no!
He was shot in the shoulder. Kondo, can you move your arm? No. That will be a bit difficult. That's so. Then don't force yourself, just sit still.
What happened?
Chief Kondo, we have a room prepared. All right. Thanks, Yamazaki.
Kondo left the room as Yamazaki aided him. Yamazaki, is there anything I could do to help?
No. I can handle it on my own. If I need a hand, I will call for you right away. So, can you please stay here?
Okay. Kondo headed towards the room as he let Yamazaki guide him.
Shimada, what happened?
He was attacked on the way back from Nijo Castle. Bastards just about shot him off his horse. If he'd fallen off, I don't know if we'd have been able to. Anyway, they had us surrounded by the time we figured out what was going on. We broke through, but it was a tough fight.
If they'd aimed for the horse, I don't think we'd be having this conversation. If he had fallen from the horse, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have been able to get away. Lucky for us, they're idiots.
What's going on? It's so noisy. What is the fuss about? Oh, shouldn't you be sleeping? He's a Fury now. He shouldn't be up in the afternoon. He just left. With all this noise, not even I sleep that deep. Actually, I could ask you the same question. Huh? You're on the night shift just like me. What are you doing up? Well... I was up because I was curious what the commotion was, just like Okita, but I wasn't a Fury. The sunlight didn't bother me. There was no way I could say that now, though. Plenty of the rank-and-file soldiers were nearby, and they had no idea the Furies even existed. So, what happened?
Kondo was shot.
What? His eyes went wide. And? Is it serious?
It didn't just graze him, if that's what you mean.
What do you mean it didn't just graze him? How can you be so calm when Kondo's been hurt? I thought for a moment that Okita was going to grab Hijikata and shake him. I'd never seen the man so agitated before.
Calm down, SOUJI. What's the point in getting mad at Toshi for?
I am calm. Anyways, tell me the details on what happened. Who shot him? You guys already killed them or arrested them, right?
Allow me to explain. You see...
Shimada calmly recounted the events up to Kondo's shooting. Then... You only sent 3 men with him? What are you, insane? You know how dangerous it is out there for him right now.
Kondo was going to Nijo Castle for a war conference as the chief of the Shinsengumi. Some of the other people there were shogunate bigwigs. He couldn't show up with a bunch of guards.
Some of the men high up in the government aren't real fond of the Shinsengumi.
And they might have gotten the wrong idea, is that what you're saying? I mean, he could have died out there. So it's more important for us to look good than for Kondo not to get fucking shot.
Didn't say that.
Then why?
SOUJI, this isn't Toshi's fault. Kondo only wanted to take us for his escort. Kondo said himself that it would be unbecoming for the chief of the Shinsengumi to be surrounded by a bunch of guards for his own protection.
So if you want to blame someone, wear it. It was our job to protect the chief, and we failed.
It's hard to protect somebody from a gunshot, Shimada. Not your fault. Hijikata put Kondo's life in danger when he let him go out with only 3 men. Besides, I'm finding it a little hard to believe that was really what Kondo wanted to do. Maybe someone talked him into it. Always trying to look good. Like Hijikata.
SOUJI!
Kondo didn't want to risk leaving the magistrate's office undefended just to cover his own tail.
This place had represented Yoshinobu's authority in Kyoto. He didn't want to take any chances with it. That was something Kondo would say.
I let him do it. That was my mistake. I don't plan on making any bullshit excuses on that front.
I could sense that Hijikata actually wanted to have many guards watch after Kondo as well. His better expression said it all. If he dies, it's your ass in the fire, Hijikata. If he dies, I will never, ever forgive you. I will find you, no matter where you may be, and I will kill you. I could almost see a flame swirling in his black eyes as he glared at Hijikata with impunity. Then Okita had turned around and stormed back to his room without another word. Yike.